Hello and welcome to Nolo Time, episode 71. My name is Obed Velez and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's up, No Load Time? Good to be with you again for our next episode, Obed. It's a pleasure as always.
Oh, absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Doing good, man. How's it going?
Things are going good, man. I miss my buddy, but I'm glad we get to chat it up here and have some fun because we need this, right?
Oh, yeah. The holidays are coming up though, so
Yeah.
time off. It's time to start winding down and hopefully come back re-energized when we come back next year. But that doesn't mean that we're going away, Joel. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. Again, next week we're going to have a holiday gift guide episode. Joel and I are going to pick up or pick some of our favorite tech toys of the year and recommend it to you guys. And yeah, don't miss it. It's gonna be fun. So it's the first one that we're gonna do on No Load Time. The other thing is that you guys, thank you again for your support. If you've listened through iTunes or Google Play, you may have listened to some ads that we finally were able to get into podcast. So thank you again, guys, for your support. Ads help our show for sure. So if you have any feedback on the placing of these ads, just let us know. How's it going? How's it sounds? We're trying to place one at the beginning and one at the end of the show. That way it's non-intrusive. So hopefully that'll work out. But we're open to feedback. If you guys don't like it, just let us know, and we'll find a different path to success, Joel. We'll figure it out. That's the other thing I had, and also if you guys notice any sound quality issues or any abnormalities in sound, sorry about that. For some reason, our audio has been kind of funky for the last I'd say 4 episodes. It hasn't been bad, but it's inconsistent, so I apologize about that. I usually try to do my best on doing some cleanup there, but that's not too bad. But just wanted to do some, a couple of housekeeping notes. But again, thank you guys for joining us and giving us a part of your time. So I really appreciate it. So
Thank you guys as always. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your feedback. We love you guys. We appreciate it.
yeah, Joel, I don't have a what's up, but I don't know if you have anything that happened in the last week or so.
I mean, I can't say anything more than good stuff for Daredevil. Finished it finally. It's the last 3 episodes, I guess you could say. I've been kind of giving you guys my, going along with it review, and it ended still on a great note. Still same feelings. If you listen to the last episodes, you'll hear how much I've really enjoyed it. And I know I also made a bold statement in our last episode saying, look, with all the news about the Netflix shows getting, not renewed, not picked up for another season, I'm not going to be surprised if Jessica Jones and Daredevil have the same thing happen to them. Interestingly enough, some statistics are coming out saying that Daredevil's not been having the great viewership that it's had compared to prior seasons. I have a little bit of mixed feelings on that. I think that might have to do maybe with the timing of the year coming out. It came out, coming out in a time that people are in school. Kids, they usually would binge watch. Busy time before the holidays. People are not off from work like they would be when a November series or a December series would drop. I think timing. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to pick up more viewership later on. It'd be something that people go back and revisit. But I really have nothing but positive things to say about it. But I'm gonna keep my eye on what continues to happen with Netflix. But yeah, it's been a great series, and that's kind of what I spent my last update kind of doing between now and the last episode, was finishing that out, and I'm really happy with what I saw. It's a solid show.
Cool. I feel like what you said, it's going to get better, especially with the reviews, right? This season 3 reviewed very, very well, and I saw a few articles last week saying, no, this is like legit, really good, the best superhero
Fantastic.
show. So it's up there. So I'm pretty sure that people are gonna come back and circle back and give it another try. And there's a lot now. I mean, when Daredevil first came out on Netflix, the competition wasn't that steep. Now there's a lot of competition. We got Hulu with original programming. Netflix has tons of shows now. So it does have a lot of competition, and the loyal fan base are gonna keep going back to it. But I know that there's people that may find interest in other properties and other shows.
Yeah.
So and that's understandable.
I think it also hurt them waiting 2 years as well to put out the third season.
True. Yeah. I mean, you could count Defenders as a half season, right? Because it technically was, but on the other hand, yeah, you're right. It was 2 years that the Daredevil show itself was without a season 3. So yeah, that could definitely have played part of it. Although it's gonna be almost the same scenario for Stranger Things, which comes out next summer.
Right.
So that's a year and a half from season 2 to season 3. So we'll see how that pans out. I know that Stranger Things is a hot property. I'm pretty sure they're going to do okay. And if it comes out during the summer, it's going to be high up there because people are at home.
Absolutely. Timing.
Yeah, exactly. Timing would be perfect for them to do that. I think that they were wise. I'm not 100% sure of the reasoning behind it. I don't know if this was delayed or not, possibly with Hellboy happening and David Barber being involved in that project, and the kids being involved on different projects as well.
Godzilla.
So yeah, exactly, Godzilla, which is one of my most anticipated movies for next year, Joel, and we can talk about that in the near future. We'll keep you guys posted about that. But yeah, it's understandable that they may have been delays on that. But yeah, no, I can't wait to go back and watch some Daredevil. I had a very busy weekend again, and looks like this coming up weekend is gonna be very busy again for me. So I'll try to squeeze in as much as I can in there. But yeah, that's I really don't have anything else. That's cool, man. If you finished Daredevil, dude, and you liked it, I'm on board. Yeah, and and I'm on board on it. So it's definitely something I'm looking forward to finishing.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, but speaking of Daredevil, Joel, and its parent company, Marvel/Disney, we had I think I'd say the biggest chain of announcements about this this new product that Disney, or streaming service that Disney is coming up with. We finally got a name, and we have a release, a window or on where this is going to be available. And surprisingly, Joel, the name, I'm not a big fan, but Disney Plus is the name of this service. The logo is Disney and a plus symbol, sort of like PlayStation Plus. That's pretty interesting what they did there. And it's going to be available late next year. So I'm thinking fiscal quarter 3, 2019, which probably going to be around October?
Yep.
October, November, most likely. So that's when the service is launching. No other details were given other than some other major announcements. But before we go into that, Joel, what do you think of the naming?
I actually like it because, and this is, with the limited knowledge that I have, even though, yes, it's, it's out there now publicly, this announcement. With the limited knowledge that I have, I interpret it as Disney Plus being like, this is now, in addition to the Disney family, you have Disney Channel, you have ABC, you have all these different Disney properties. Disney has grown greatly, and this Disney Plus it's that extra extension of the Disney family now through this streaming service. It's a little extra Disney in your life now, and I think a lot of people are going to sign up for it. But I'm not against it. It's also easy to remember. It's something
Yep.
that people are gonna easily be able to identify. Netflix is brilliant. It's a brilliant name. Everyone knows Netflix. It's unique. It's something. It's not. You're not gonna get it confused with another company's name. It's very clear on what it is and what it means. Disney Plus, I think, can catch on very well, very easily. Just the same. You're still, just because it has the name Disney in it, you're gonna have people who are gonna shorthand it and just be like, "Hey, do you have Disney?" Or they might just refer to it as, "You have that Disney streaming service." But Disney Plus, I think, will be a hot commodity, and I think the name's just fun.
Yeah, I think, and I'm assuming that this is probably going to be available on all major platforms.
Oh yeah,
iOS, Android, Chrome, Apple
Roku.
TV, Roku. Yeah, we'll see about Amazon. I'm not 100% sold about that. I mean, but if
But Amazon played nice with Netflix too, right?
yeah, well, if you know anything about all right, so I'm not sure if I should share this information or not. I mean, I didn't sign NDA, but Disney does host most of their streaming services off of Amazon, the Amazon cloud. So that's yeah. If you didn't know that, then I gave you some insider info. I'm sorry if I broke an NDA.
Scoops on the show.
So scoops on the show. I mean, it was over 4 years ago, so I think I'm clear. Yeah, they won't find me. I gotta go into hiding now. but yeah, they do use their services. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how this plays out. And again, it comes down to pricing. We talked about it last week a little bit about pricing being supposedly lower than the Netflix package. So we'll see. But Joe, the big announcements that we got today is the confirmation of the Loki show, and that's the first part of what we have on this service. So. Is there a confirmed title for the show or not yet, or is it just called Loki?
Just called Loki. That's how it was referred to. And it's great. The greatest part about the confirmation is not only is this being confirmed as a new original series, but it's also confirmed that Tom Hiddleston will indeed be back, just as the reports we had heard. So they really are locking in on that whatever they're going to be doing for their Marvel series are going to be directly connected to their cinematic universe. They're not rebooting anything. They're not doing alternate realities. This is clearly a part of the MCU, and I love that that Disney's putting some money into that. So I'm really happy about that. Obviously, if you remember in our other episodes, we talked about like Scarlet Witch show. We talked about the Winter Soldier and Falcon show. That stuff was not announced with this Disney Plus naming and some of the other stuff that we'll get into a little bit after this. But those were not announced from the Marvel standpoint. It was just the Loki show. And I think the reason that stuff's not announced is because if you know anything about Marvel, they do things in phases, right? So after this Loki show comes through and they see responses from it, you'll see a lot of other stuff be greenlit. I'm sure outside of those 3 shows that we had heard rumored, not one of them being confirmed, I'm sure there are a ton of other ideas that have been thrown on. Disney thinks 10, 15 years into the future, no exaggeration. So they have a series of stuff set up that they would be prepared to launch. I think little by little the stuff feeds out to the news, but don't be surprised. We get confirmation about that stuff later. I don't think that stuff's not going to happen. Those rumors I believe to be true. But I'm happy to at least have Loki confirmed from now. And I think it's a good place to start, too, because, there's a lot of people who have the Loki-itis, waiting for him after the events of Infinity War.
Yeah, seriously. Just speaking about Infinity War real quick before, I don't want to go on a tangent, but do you see that they said that they confirmed today that it's going to be the longest Marvel movie? It's like, just like the previous Avengers was the longest Marvel movie.
Yeah, so if the other one was long, and that was the longest, like that means
it was like, what, 245, right?
Yes. This is going to, right now it's 3 hours apparently the runtime for Avengers 4.
Wow, that's nuts. That's great, though.
I'll sit there.
Yeah, with pleasure. I'll be there and I'll be enjoying myself. Yeah, we'll see how that comes out. But yeah, I'm pretty interested to see where this show is going. If this is a prequel show, what basically what Loki was doing when he fell off the Bifrost on the first Thor until the invasion of New York, or is this something that will happen after Infinity War? So that's TBD. Can't wait to hear more news about this. It's gonna be a huge hit with the ladies, I'm pretty sure. Tom Hiddleston being a handsome man, and the ladies liking Loki a lot. So yeah, I think this show's gonna do very well. The other piece of news that we have, Joel, is that it's confirmed that they are also working on a Rogue One spinoff featuring Cassian.
That's right. So yeah, all they're saying is that it's a Cassian Andor Rogue One prequel series. That's exactly how it was announced. I sent you exactly what Star Wars put out there, what Disney put out there, and I didn't see this coming because I was already happy with the announcement of The Mandalorian. That made me extremely ecstatic, excited. Those of you who know me personally know I was talking about for a very long time. But this one I didn't see coming. So 3 Star Wars shows coming at the beginning for this Disney Plus streaming service. I already knew I was signed up. If you're just a Star Wars fan, there is no other choice but to sign up for this thing.
Seriously,
it's gonna be ridiculous money that they're gonna have. Star Wars is the biggest franchise ever. And it just keeps getting bigger now, adding a Rogue One prequel, which Rogue One might be the best. It's a strong statement to say, but might be the best out of the recent Disney Star Wars movies that have come out. So
I could agree to that.
Exactly. So and it's not a divisive movie by any means. So I definitely think this is going to also perform very well. And Cassian was a fantastic character.
It was a great character
into that universe. So I can't wait to hear a little bit more of what he did maybe as a kid, or maybe what was going on right before he got to Jyn. It's a story that I'm actually happy to sit through, and it's not something I asked for, but I'm very happy to get it. There's a difference there.
Yeah, and confirmed that Diego Luna is going to be back as Cassian. So
absolutely.
It's I wonder if we're gonna get the droid. Oh, what's the name of the droid? Forgot.
Oh, K2SO.
Yeah.
I'm sure K2SO.
Yeah, K2SO. Yeah, K2SO. Yeah. So if K2's there, that would be awesome because he was great too. So.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm wondering. Yeah, he has a story, right? It was very clear on Rogue One that there's a past, that he had a past, and there's. He went through a lot being part of the rebellion.
He's been fighting for years.
All that. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see where this goes. I mean, we all know where it ends, but
that's dark.
But I know, but it's out there, But it's going to be pretty interesting to see where they go with this new announcement for this show. Between this and The Mandalorian, I'm pretty excited. Whichever comes first, and then whatever Marvel puts in. And like I said, on top of that, you get the Disney library. More than likely, you'll get the Fox library, which I think it's like nowhere on streaming right now, right, Joel?
No one has a deal for it. FX had it on TV, but that's it.
Exactly. So once Disney comes out with this product, I think this is gonna be fantastic. So again, they won't sign up for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty pumped about this one.
Absolutely.
Jill, and then what we have after this, man, is a bunch of gaming news. We're gonna go ahead and scathe the man babies here for a minute.
Let's do it.
On two things, actually. So over the weekend, BlizzCon happened, and the overall, for the most part, I want to say the show was okay. Fans were getting too hyped. You got an announcement for a new character on Overwatch. There was a Warcraft 3 remake announced, from the ground up. they're working on things, right? And the BlizzCon, of course, is for the hardcore fans, and this is something that Blizzard fans really enjoy being a part of. But over the weekend, something interesting happened, Joel. They were at their keynote, and they went to do their final announcement, right? And speculation was that, they're going to announce a new Diablo game, and everything's going to be great, and it's going to be awesome, and we're all going to be really excited about it. And fans were really hyped for this. And when they announced a new Diablo game for mobile only, it started going south fast, man. So, at first fans were like, what is this? And, why are you doing this? And all this stuff. And then during their Q&A session, that's when it all went south real quick. An audience, one of the guys in the audience asked him, was like, "Is this an out of date April Fool's joke?" And it was just not good. I mean, if you're putting up a show for your ultra hardcore fans, you better deliver, especially with how man babies are these days. I'm not saying that all you guys are man babies. A lot of you behave like man babies online when this happened, because there's no reason to attack people the way some of these guys did for a video game. That is, to me, again, there's more important things that you guys could channel your anger and make an actual impact in society. So it's my tip of the day.
Wisdom from Obed.
That's my pro. Yeah, exactly. That's my pro tip for life. But then the biggest one, Joel, was when one of the developers was on stage and someone in the audience was asking about game mechanics. And hey, so are these new mechanics that you guys are implementing in this game, are they going to be applied on, say, Diablo 3? Are they going to be added into the game? Are they going to be patched in somehow? Or are they exclusive to this new game? And the developer replied with the honest answer. It's like, no, this is for this new game. And the audience booed. They booed him on stage. And his response was not good, Joe. His response was, I mean, when you're getting booed on stage, I know that one tends to get really uncomfortable really fast. And I think his response was not great, but it was also a reaction to the booing, right? And he said, "What? Y'all don't have phones?" and
y'all don't have phones.
Y'all don't have phones, man. And again, it wasn't a great response. I understand that he was nervous. But it became a meme instantly. You know how things run on the internet, right? And man, I'm conflicted, because on the one part is like, don't blame the developer. Blizzard's parent company is Activision. Activision's been known for many years to go crazy on this, mobile game monetization things, right? So I don't think the developers are not necessarily to blame. Because of Activision wanting them to push this product. That being said, their response could have been a lot better. And again, they're speaking to their ultra hardcore fans. I think they should have some sort of damage control where they can go, it's like, okay, but this thing's happening too. Calm down. Everything's gonna be fine. But Joe, what do you think about what happened? We were watching a video about this. And we were both laughing hysterically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to, like how you just did, just addressing the fan base of these people, just saying, like, we hear you, we get. I totally get why you'd be not happy. I've had moments where I have heard things about franchises and things that I love, and I've gotten very upset, frustrated. I don't get it. Why are you doing this? makes no sense, and it really probably doesn't make sense in those regards. But with that being said, I also can see on the other side what Blizzard was trying to do. Like I see that they were trying to be innovative. You hear people say stuff like the future is mobile, and if you read some of the reports coming out even just today, it's like, these guys have a lot more games aside from Diablo Immortal that they're planning to go mobile for their futures. Like, this is not just a one-time thing they just decided to randomly do. Like, they're actually made as a part of their future strategy. So I think it's really fascinating where you have a fan base saying we don't want this straight to your face. Like, you watch these videos online, and it's a live Q&A, a filled crowd of hardcore fans straight talking to the leads of this franchise of Diablo, and they're saying, like, we don't want this, and they're straight up looking at you saying you don't have phones. Like, we thought this would be a way for everyone to be connected to this thing. I mean, I couldn't imagine, like, at some of the conventions I've been at, seeing, the creators and people with the Q&A standing up right in front of them being like, what is this? Like, it gave me this thing. I mean, I've never witnessed it to that extent, but this is pretty crazy stuff there.
Yeah, I think what added salt to the wound of fans is learning that, or could this could have gone two ways, right? This could have either aggravated the fan base, or it could ease the fan base's ire against the developers. But this is not being developed internally at Blizzard. This is being developed by a company called NetEase, which I believe they're based out of China, and they've made basically Diablo clones for mobile phones. So this is like their the thing they do, and now they have the franchise to do this with. So that could have gone two ways too, right? It was like, oh, so you're giving us this thing that is not even made by you, or, oh, okay, so these guys are making the game, you're working on something else. So it could have gone both ways. With the fan base, you never know, and that's a big problem where you have this rabid fan bases, and I totally understand. This is like a hardcore game. It's been out for 20 some years, this franchise. So I totally understand the fans, and it was like me when Street Fighter V came out and it didn't have an arcade mode for 2 years. I felt the same way. I was like, I booed Capcom. I was one of the people that called them Crapcom. Now they seem to have their stuff together, but it happened. At some point, one of the companies that you're loyal to, and one of the developer studios that you're a fan of is gonna go. They're gonna take a dump. It happened to Konami. I was a big fan of Konami. Metal Gear Solid is my favorite franchise of all time. They took a dump. Happened with Capcom. Capcom managed to turn it around. I'm sure that you've had the same experience with Ubisoft, and you're a big Assassin's Creed fan.
Absolutely.
So it happens to everyone, and to the fanboys, just chill out, man. It's like, things are gonna be okay. It's not the end of the world. Just on a little segue, Joel. Let's talk about Smash a little bit. So Smash Brothers. So there was a Nintendo Direct last week. It was actually last Thursday, just before we recorded, so we didn't have all the news. But it was a huge Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Nintendo Direct that they were having, and they were revealing the last few characters and features and whatnot. And they announced Piranha Plant as being the last playable character coming in with the game, and fans just go crazy and start insulting the developers and this craziness. So I think that Britney Spears, when she co-wrote the song Toxic, she was actually writing it about the Smash Brothers community.
There was something there, guys.
Oh my goodness, dude. Why are Smash, like, hardcore Smash fans so crazy, Joel? I don't understand. I mean, I appreciate Smash for what it is. and it's a fun game. And to me, that's what it is. It's a fun game with all of my characters, all the Nintendo characters from my childhood, now including Simon Belmont and Mega Man and all these guys. Why should I be mad about that? Why should I be mad about a company giving me what I've always wanted just because they give it to me in a way that I wasn't expecting it? Come on. It's like I don't understand. So it happened. It happens with everything, right? It happened with Avengers. When we first find out that the last Avengers was going to be a two-parter, it's like, oh, they're going to do the Matrix, Twilight thing, and Harry Potter, and all this thing. But once they were able to actually wrap it up pretty nicely in this nice, neat package, then they're gonna make you come in for the next one. But I wish that fans would just take a step back. Yes, share your opinions, because I know that your opinions are valuable to developers, at least most developers, right? There's plenty of developers out there that listen to their fans. There's others that don't. It all depends on the community. But you guys need to take a chill pill.
Yeah.
This is not Star Wars when you could just try to kickstart a remake of a movie that's actually fine.
Like that worked last time.
Babe.
That totally worked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that totally worked. Yeah. That poster was awesome. Yeah. I can't wait for the trailer.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Were they able to get Mark Hamill back in?
Yeah. Well, they got him for sure. He was totally on board with
They got-
this.
They got Hark Mammal instead. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, to fans, I know you're passionate, and I understand your passion because I'm very passionate about certain properties too. But you know what? When Metal Gear Survive got announced, I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna buy it, and that's it. I'm not gonna go to. I didn't go to Twitter and go, Konami F you and this and you guys suck, and started harassing the poor social media people that work for this company. So I was like, it's not their fault. Come on, that's exactly what you do. There's the game that you don't like. You don't have to buy it. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's your favorite franchise, right? And again, like I said earlier, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I said it even like the last two episodes. It's like no one's holding a gun to your head saying you have to get this thing. Like that's how some people are responding. Like I don't want it. Like as if they're being force fed. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like I just mentioned, Metal Gear Solid is my favorite franchise ever, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite game ever. And Metal Gear Survive got announced and got released, and I was like, oh, okay, this looks like crap. I'm not gonna buy it. That's it. And that's all you do. I mean, you don't have to start crying like a baby out there and start going on all videos and reviews and Twitter and all the Facebook and all these things and just stop crying. I mean, come on.
Here it is.
Like, you don't like it. Rant. Yeah, you don't like it. You don't buy it. It's like if you don't like to eat salad, you just don't go to the restaurant and order a salad, right? Just order a cheeseburger and be happy.
Although you really should get that salad, though.
Or pizza. I was like, I don't know. What if it has, like, salmonella?
Well, don't get it in that case. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean.
Side note.
It's like Metal Gear Survive is like the salmonella to gaming. So I'm not going to eat it.
Oh, that was so good. Oh, that was great, guys.
Oh, but... Man, yeah, seriously, guys, just take a step back and take a deep breath, move on with your lives. It's not gonna end here, but it did end, Joel, for Final Fantasy 15.
Did all right.
One of my favorite. Oh, I was not expecting this, Joel. This was like an arrow through the heart for me, man. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and. It was announced just last night. They did a stream. They had announced a stream for November 7th with new information about the upcoming DLC, and the stream was just a bunch of depressing announcements. It was that only one of the 4 episodes is coming out. It's coming out on March 19th, so only episode Arden is coming out. is leaving Square Enix and opening his own studio. So, man. So, all right. So, I can understand Hajime Tabata's frustration and him wanting to leave Square Enix. He got thrown into almost impossible projects. He finished Final Fantasy 12 when the previous director just went crazy from overworking. He did finish the PSP Final Fantasy. Man, I forgot the name. Came out for PS4 a few years ago as a remaster, and then he took over Tetsuya Nomura for Final Fantasy 15 on 2013 and finished the project after the game being in development for already like 8 years. So, I mean, I can understand his frustration. I'm looking forward to see what his new studio is going to be. But man, that's pretty crazy that, you know, this game's like, it's done. Not going to get any more major updates. And there's no news on the Final Fantasy VII Remake as of yet. I don't know. I don't know where this is going, but, you know, unfortunate, yes. The game had a decent 2-year run. Still selling out there. The game's really good. I really, again, I enjoyed this game thoroughly, including all the DLC pieces and even going through the dailies and all this like time quest and all this stuff that he had to offer. Yes, it had its problems because it was not perfect, but it had a charm to it that to me was very impactful, thus becoming one of my favorite games ever. But Joe, sad news for Final Fantasy fans, and yeah, I know that Hajime Tabata is gonna be missed at Square.
Yeah, it's definitely sad, but it's good that there's still good things we can look back upon. Like, if it's gonna stop, at least it stops on a high note, not like, oh my god, it's so bad we had to stop now. It's fine. Final Fantasy is in good hands. I do feel bad. I do feel bad, like you're saying, and I wish this guy the best with his new studio, and I look forward to seeing what comes out of it. But at the same time, at least it's not. It could have been worse, is my point.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was comfortable there, and it's normal. I mean, it's
absolutely.
It does happen at Square Enix. Square Enix, it's happened
quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah, because it happened. It wasn't like Sakaguchi when he got pretty much ousted,
right?
Because that's different. He just decided to leave the company. It wasn't like Kojima over at Konami. He got trapped in a dungeon for 8 months and then released the prisoner. But yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. The thing that gets me the most is that one of these, like the last piece of this DLC, was supposed to be like the true ending for the game or something like that. So now the ending goes back to being like open to interpretation. I know, I mean, I'll interpret it my way or whatever. But there's they've released some new some footage of the DLC, and it looks fantastic. It looks really good. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. So March 2019, it's gonna be the last piece of DLC for Final Fantasy 15. So I'll be looking forward to that.
We'll keep our eyes out.
Yeah. And last piece of news that I have here, Joe, DreamHack is a pretty prominent esports event. It's happening in Atlanta, and this is taking place November 17th. And crazy thing that happened, Joe. They canceled the Dragon Ball FighterZ tournament. Right, like just yesterday or a couple days ago. So there's certain rumors of what's going on here, because Dragon Fighter Z right now it's probably the top fighting game out there. getting bigger crowds than Street Fighter V. Definitely more than other fighting games out there. So what's surprising to me, Joel, is that they just went ahead and canceled it. So they confirmed that they were not canceling because of low signups. So the rumor is that Toei Animation is pulling a Nintendo here, where they did not think that this game was going to be as big as it got, and Toei is very protective of their properties, much like Nintendo is. That Smash was not on any like big tournament stage for a long time until Nintendo said, okay, Evo can have it. Certain events can have Smash. Not all events have Smash in them. So we saw that from Nintendo. Eventually, they got a little more lenient on their permissions for to use Smash Brothers on a big stage, but it goes back to Toei being very, very protective of their properties, I think, Joel, which is weird because it's Dragon Ball. It's about fighting. Your characters are going to get hurt. It's not like Marvel vs. Capcom, where supposedly Marvel didn't want to show their characters getting hurt. Yeah. So I really don't understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, I don't know the reasoning, but if that's the reasoning, I don't understand why that would be the reasoning for it. But it's unfortunate. I actually played over the weekend. I practiced some combos. Didn't actually go online, but I did pop it in, start practicing a little bit. Don't want to get too rusty, so. Unfortunate, man. I always look forward to big Dragon Ball tournaments. So another bummer here.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't make sense. When you first told me about this, I was like, this doesn't make sense. And then when you further explained to me, Joel, rumors are, hey, that they just don't want to have this portrayal of their IP. I'm like, even more confusion. Visible confusion.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the portrayal of the property, right? Because they're very aware of the property. It's just that
the losing.
They're very protective of the property.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Unless Namco pulled it because they want to push Soul Calibur. Something else, I doubt it, because why try to push something else when you already have a good product out there?
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that the contract that Toei has right now with Namco to produce this game is in perpetuity. Like, Namco took over pretty much most of the anime properties coming over to the West on when they're publishing these games. Between because they have Bandai, right? There's Namco Bandai, so they got Gundam, they got all these properties that they can bring in to the West now. So I find it interesting, kind of like disappointing at the same time. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure that we'll hear some news about this in the near future, and I'm hoping that this is not the end for it. I mean, I'm hoping to see it again at CEO and Evo and all these big events. So, yeah, hopefully that's not gonna be it. It's not gonna be relegated to locals and small tournaments, because the game's a lot of fun and it's a lot of fun to watch. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Joel, that's what I got on the gaming side. I don't know if there's any other breaking news or anything else that you want to share.
I think we're safe, but I really want to make sure you guys, to reiterate to you, to please go ahead and remember to watch us on our next episode, especially because it's going to be our gift guide episode. So it's a can't miss. I love that we're trying to change things up here. We've never done that before on the show, so I really look forward to spread the word to your friends. With that being said, the best way for you to always be connected is to connect with us on social media. So go ahead and give us a follow at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Also want to make sure you guys stay subscribed so you always get our latest episodes, especially next week, since I keep mentioning. So subscribe to us via podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. No load time. Subscribe to us there. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch all of our videos there and like it and give us a comment. We love your feedback. In addition to the feedback I can give via YouTube, we want to also make sure you can send us an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing any questions, comments, feedback, especially we were mentioning at the beginning of this episode in relation to quality, response to some of the advertisements. We appreciate your loyalty, your following. You guys are great. We really appreciate it. Keep spreading the word. Keep growing this thing with us. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode of No Load Time.
Thank you, guys, and we'll see you again on the next episode.